How's everyone doing? Okay? Can you guys hear me okay? Oh, gotta admit people, that would help, wouldn't it? I forget. Right, yes, good. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. Let's get on here. Let's go to here. Yep. So we're live on YouTube and we're live on Zoom. Excellent. That should cover that. Let's see what else is going on. Wow, look at that. Gold. Beautiful move on gold. Pump and dump. That was easy. Jarvis, have you been shorting gold? Or if not, why not? Did you bag any percentages? EU, GU, GJ. So GJ and GU, GJ bullish. And GJ's continued to go up and is now testing the 144.80 area. We have some resistance, some divergence at around 144.88 on pound yen. We managed to do a 764 move on gold up to 137.13, bounced off there, reacted nicely, so that was a nice 764 strategy there. Gold is in a beautiful move, 0.5%. Okay, yes, all right, that'll do. Right, so we've been down to 78, perfectly touched 78 around there on the Dow, so that's me done for now on that. Perfectly tested that area, bounced off it, skimmed a few pips here and there off it. Head and shoulders on a 15-minute. Okay, good luck with that. What are you looking for on the NAS? How many pips? What's your stop loss like? What's your target like? Make sure that's there. Make sure that's there as well. Make sure that's on there. Good. So that's all done. No, the Dow was just a corrective pullback, Andy. It was just a little correction using the smaller time frames, just for scalping. I had some orders there that needed filling down at around 31,178. It's been down there and touched it. Will we go back down there again? I don't know. It's very bullish, but I know that we had orders, so we consolidated around 31,220, and then it was just curling over. So I thought maybe we'll get a little nudge back. And we've had that now, pretty much touched it to the pip. So not divergence. We've got divergence setting up on the pound yen between 144.88 and 145. So there's nothing really to see on the Dow. It was just not visually anyway. Just some orders that needed filling down at around 178, and it went down there, and you saw it price just consolidated down around that level for 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, about an hour really, and we've just had a nice little push up, about 5 minutes to news. So yeah, it's already hit. So yeah, done for the day with that. It's not something I can. It's not something I can go into with any real detail. We could be here all day talking about orders, order flow, other aspects of trading. Love the way you say strategy. Regarding what? Jay, what is it? What did I refer strategy to? What to scalping? Did I say scalping strategy? Yeah, I think if you put strategy, label it strategy, it sounds more. It's bollocks, isn't it? It's just scalping, if that's what you're referring to. The fundamental trade on NFP. No, I'm not. I'm not taking no fundamental trade on nothing to do with NFP, because it's all rubbish. It's going to chop around, bounce up a bit, down a bit, up a bit more, down a bit more. And once the dust is settled, the banks will tally up how much they've taken from the newbie traders and from people trying to make money from NFP. Your English accent is great. He's such a piss taker. So you don't trade on? No, we don't trade on NFP. It's all hype and fluff. What do we want to? What do you want to do with NFP? Do you think the markets are going to move like the pound moved yesterday? The pound moved yesterday because I was telling you all week the pound was going to move. So don't trade it. And I said I'm not trading the pound until tomorrow, or until Thursday. And that was on Tuesday and Wednesday. I was saying to you, because we have the monetary policy interest rate decision. I said if they keep the rates unchanged, if they don't mess with it, they don't change it, expect the pound to remain bullish. And it did. It did a nice pullback, corrective trickle all the way down for 2-3 days, and then it pumped it all back up again, didn't it? And 76.4 is where it bounced off to. So you could have bought pound dollar up to 76.4. Really nice. Say profit for me too. What? What are you on about? Just coming in and being a pain. What are you talking about? Right. Anyway, well, what have we got? So we've got about a minute and a half. This is quickly. Let's have a look at pound. There's pound 1 hour chart. Pound. There's the pump up with the news. So everything was kept unchanged, which is exactly what they said they would do. 9 people voted as part of their group, their board. nine voted in favour to keep everything unchanged. So we had confirmation, resumption of the bullish trend on pound dollar, looking for $1.40 on the pound dollar. How long is it going to take to get there? I don't know. It could take 3 more months, it could take 3 weeks. But looking for 140. So maybe this month, now that they've got the interest rate decision out of the way with the Bank of England, and that's all cleared up, perhaps we will see 140. I'd say 138.10 first off. Pound yen's been a lot more of a bullish move, and pound yen has moved really well. Let's get rid of this. Let's see what happens with gold. You've got your own charts. Let's see what happens with gold and stock markets. So if you see any sell-off on the pound or pound pairs, or sell-off on the euro dollar, euro pairs, consider buying it back up. But pound pairs, because they've been bullish since yesterday, it would be nice to see a bit of a drop down with the news. You know, a bit of a sell-off so you could buy it back up, but it doesn't seem to want to do it at the moment. Okay, so a bit of a spike up on gold, spike down to target again on the Dow. That's all good. Yeah, so that's gone through it. That's it done. The Dow's done its play to the downside. That's exactly what we wanted to see. So it gave you another opportunity to short it back down from 31,210 down to about the 31,170s. So that's all good. Yeah, done. In terms of orders, yeah. So what happens is sometimes, you know, if you've got lots of orders being pumped in, especially if you're trying to put a lot of money down, and so take Sunday night for example. Sunday night's a really good time. Here you go. Look, pound pairs rallying up, still bullish. So we didn't really get a pullback per se, but there you go. It's just continuing to be bullish. The trend is your friend. Always understand that. Trend's your friend. Don't try and go against the trend. I see people trying to short pound yen yesterday late afternoon. It was like, yeah, but it's bullish. It's not a range bound move. So understand the difference. When the markets are just range bound, they're going up a bit, down a bit. You expect to move up, then you put a trade on to counter it and expect it to drop back down and give it all back maybe the next day or by the evening. You know, maybe bullish London session, bearish US, etc. That's understandable. But yesterday wasn't about that. Yesterday was about fundamental news. UK talking about the Bank of England saying that everything is going to remain as is. We're on course to do what we need to do for this year. Job done. Don't have to overanalyze it beyond that. So, yeah, so expected the pound to continue to be strong. Now, if they decide to, simply put, if they decide to drop interest rates further, note that they are at 0.1%. So, that, you know, it's nothing. It's near zero. If they drop it, they have to do like Japan did, negative rates. You know, do something like that, which would be really bad for the pound. It would be viewed as a bad thing, right? So then you would expect the pound pairs to all sell off. But because they kept everything as is, it was clear. It was a clear signal to buy pound. It was clear to say, okay, you're fine, you can go. You know, passing all the checks, fine, carry on. So bullish. If you don't have any way of knowing what's going on with the news, fundamentals, you know, having that, we always talk about Twitter, don't we? Set up a Twitter account and maybe something called TweetDeck, which is the app that you put on your desktop on your computer, and you just subscribe to a handful of key news feeds, news outlets, companies like News Squawk, Bloomberg Economics or Bloomberg. There's two different types as well. Daily FX Team Live. You've got IG Squawk. You've got Forex Live. You've got Trading Floor Audio, CNBC. You know, subscribe to all of them. They will pretty much tell you what's going on, tweet by tweet. So US added 49,000 jobs in January versus 50,000 expected. Okay, there you go. And that's just me looking at my news feeds. It's coming in. Canada International Merchandise. So we've got Canadian news as well. international merchandise trade. So trade's 1.67 billion Canadian dollars versus, so it was minus 1.67 versus minus 3 billion estimate. So almost half their estimate, which is actually better because it was a lower minus figure. Okay, and then they start sending you all about the private payroll numbers. Estimated 163. So it's just numbers. That's not what we're looking at here. It's not going to make any difference at the moment. The way things are in the world, it's all a bit madness. So none of this information is going to be relevant unless there's something that's really not in line with the figures that they've estimated. But then you've got to allow for the whole of today to kind of soak up the numbers and the figures, and then you'll find that maybe on Monday things might be a little bit quieter off the back of NFP numbers. But moving forward for the rest of next week, it might impact it. It might factor it in. But you see the way things are in the world right now. We have a pandemic, something really quite serious, and what's happening? Nothing. Markets are making new highs. Stock markets feel like they're unaffected. Mind you, this last month in January, we've had some amazing moves. We've had things like gold that have been moving. It's been moving well, bearish price action. But we've had things like different cryptocurrencies, all sorts. We've had that Wall Street bets scenario. What do we call it? Incident. I was going to say incident, but we've had some good stuff go on right now. So there we go. So we've got some movement to the upside. Got a quick 10 pip scalp on GJ when you said divergence. Which news would you trade on typically? None. You're gambling. Why do you need to? If you can't make money just normal every day coming into the markets and trade what's happening. Oh, I would, to be fair, I've explained it. Pound, Bank of England, yesterday. I said to you on Tuesday, didn't I? Tuesday and Wednesday, I said I'm not going to take any trades on the pound pairs. I'm going to wait till the news, 12 o'clock lunchtime, London time, which is 7 a.m. New York time. We'll wait for the news to come out. If they keep everything the same, expect some bullish price action, look for buying. It was as simple as that. That was me waiting for the news just to confirm, and then we would trade accordingly. And so that's my take on trading news. That's how you do it. Not wait for NFP and then take a punt with it, like maybe wanting to catch one of these spikes. We're seeing some dollar strength actually. Dollar weakness. We're seeing US dollar weakness and Canadian dollar weakness. So euro dollar and pound dollar both spiked up about 15-20 pips. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice that you got a quick scalp on the pound yen. It's good. I think Fridays are a day for scalping. The emphasis being not to encourage you to scalp on a Friday. The emphasis is that we are basically saying that if you haven't made your money by now, you shouldn't be trying to do your arse on a Friday because it ruins your weekend. That's what we say. It's about you having 5 chances to make some money in a week. So you're going to try and make all your money on a Friday afternoon. That's just dead. That's not trading. That's just nonsense. If you feel compelled to have to do that, then straight away just stop and just say, you know what, I'm going to start enjoying my weekend early. I just thought I'd come in and see what NFP was all about, see if it throws up any anomalies, anything that's any surprises, as it were. But no, there's no surprises. So we've had a bit of a pump on the pound, but that's just a continuation. So we're back up to retest the 764. It bounced off that, so you could have made some money shorting off the 764. 764 strategy worked really, really well. See that on the hour. yeah, that's it. What else did you want to look at? You wanted to look at. So let's go over this quickly. Let's go over the pound dollar and let's go over the pound yen. Let's do euro yen. We can look at gold. We can look at the Dow Jones as well, if you like. Just to go over stuff and show you what I was looking at. How long does NFP last? Like, when does it usually die down? I don't know. That was it. The news is out at 1:30 London time, 8:30 New York time. So it was out 10 minutes ago, and you saw there was a bit of volume in the markets. So we had a nice little spike up on gold from about 1795 to about 1805, 06 even. So that was a good 100 pip spike up. Don't be surprised if it runs out of steam here and just curls and gives it all back and gets back down to 1800 at least, and then lower, just because that could be the price action. But you need to see if that's the case, or whether this is going to be the start of a bigger retracement, long, bigger bullish move. So this could be the first pump put in by the banks. Let the information be digested, and again, have your news feeds up so you know what to look for, and over the next few hours you'll have maybe some reports by some of these news feeds, and they'll break down the numbers for you and say, okay, so the markets probably see it as this, which may have an impact on gold, and it might do this, and maybe give you shed some light on what may happen to some of these instruments that you trade, whether it's commodities like gold or oil, whether it's the stock markets. So this is pound dollar. This is technical analysis now. Getting back to technicals, 764, 76.4, 137.13. That was the play to go long to there. It almost got there, and then it kind of just died down. So you could have been long up to the 618. That was pretty decent. Bounced off there, and it's trickled up to here, and then bounced off. Finally, it touched it pretty much perfectly. I think got to about 12.5 or so. It's about half a pip shy of touching that, and then it's fallen away. And what was the low in the end? Got down to 136.72. Okay, so about 40 pip retracement. Not bad, I guess. 40 pip retracement. You could take it back up long bullish for like a 30-40 pip move to take it back up to 764. Now I wonder if we're going to see these pound pairs continue up, or I'm looking at euro dollar, euro yen, euro CAD, euro Aussie, euro New Zealand, euro Aussie New Zealand, and pound Aussie, pound New Zealand. They're both in a bearish slump. They're both giving back to the downside. Pound CAD, euro CAD, pound dollar, euro dollar, both. All of those are putting a bullish spike, and then a pound yen and euro yen are giving back a little bit. They're in a slight pullback. So it's all a bit mixed, to be fair. I'm not clear on any of it. There's no unison. There's no like uniform pound move or dollar move or yen move or yeah. I mean, for me, I try to look for euro move or pound move against other currencies. I like to see things in sync, move in sync. So I mean, you could pick one of these and just take a trade, but it would be like a T1 type trade. You might get 20 pips or so on a move. Will it give you more? I don't know. It hasn't really thrown up anything for me. So that's what I see. It's funny, like dollar tanking. It's like, is it really tanking now, or does it move 5 pips in a 30 pip range? Tanking would be like it's moved 100 pips. That's tanking, or it's moved 50 pips and it looks like it's going to do another 50 pips. Right, so that's the pound. So that's where we're at the pound. So we need to break this level. 764. Just stabbed it, pulled back, bounced off it. So there was a nice little setup there. So you could have gone long yesterday to it. You could have shorted off it as a counter move. That was when you take the counter trend at key times. The next time you can take a counter trend move would be up here. I think if it tests 137.50s again, I think it's got the chance of actually breaking this time. So I think bullish price action for pound dollar remains. Looking for 137.50s again, retesting the previous high, providing it can break the 76.4 at 137.13. That's what we're looking at in terms of bullish price action, continuation long. If it can break this resistance, then it will use this as an area of support and it will go up to 137.50. It likes the 50 number. Stalled at 58. And then the next target would be a break of that and 138. So we'll test that 138 because we've not been to 138 yet. That would be a new high. So that's the bias. Bullish bias continues. Looking for 138, 138.10 to be precise, as a 127 extension of this current price action. So around $1.38, $1.38, on its way up to $1.40, which I'm still got pegged. I've been talking about that since. I've been talking about it for about three months now, 2-3 months at least. Do you hold trades over the weekend or not? No, I don't generally hold trades over the weekend. Again, that's the same philosophy. You have 5 days to trade in a week, 5 chances to make money. If you can't make money in the 5 days and you're trying to put all your attempts on a Friday afternoon, or want to hold something, is it really necessary? Don't get me wrong, I have held trades over the weekend. The last few times I did it was last year, and that was gold. That was because we were hedging as we were going into the weekend, because we felt that it would do something, gap up or gap down because of the news. Okay, so now we're having another go at this. So this is trying to break long here. So pound dollar's trying to break. That's a focus. So there you go. 137.50 long for pound dollar. If it can break, how long we got on this hour? We've got 14 minutes to the close of this hour. See, it needs to close above and break above. The body has to close above, not just wick up and reject and drop back down and leave a wick like it's just done there, to attempt to suck in some buys at the top of this range and then see it drop. So, bear that in mind as well. Don't just rush in. That's a 15. That's a 1 hour chart. You can see on a 15-minute chart that it is actually retesting the previous high. We have done a nice move on pound yen, which I did say up to 144.80 today. And that's done to 80s, because 88 is a 161 extension again of that previous price, and we've got divergence showing on the 1 hour and the 4 hour. So there's not much to say about that. The trade of the week was pounds bullish, buy long yesterday. As soon as the news came out, start looking for longs and stay long. And if it pulled back, buy it with an MT strategy. Buy the pullbacks, keep you long, and that's it. There's no brainer with that one. Keep it simple. Forget trying to take counter trend moves until such time that we hit certain levels. So, in this case, pound dollar hit 137.13, 76.4. It's a clear bounce off that. That was fine. Another one right now is here. We didn't pull back off the 127 on the pound yen. Quite bullish. It's stretched up, so I expect it to react around 144.80 area, which it is doing, to be fair. The AO oscillator, the awesome oscillator, is not a lag oscillator. It is a volume indicator, which helps you establish divergence. So you will see that some traders will have their volume indicator on the chart either vertically positioned on the right hand side, so over here somewhere, or on the left hand side. And you'll see this kind of volume. These are bars. They're not candles, they're just bars. And so you might have this sort of a volume indicator going along here vertically on the left, on the right, which I'm sure some of you have seen. It's volume. It's just showing you volume, and then you can drill down as much as you want into that. I'm not going to go into it in too much detail. Suffice to say that this one is fine. It works for me. It's quite powerful and accurate. And what it does for me, it gives me these yellow lines which highlight divergence. And what we're saying is that we're seeing this push up, which is great to see, bullish price action on pound yen. But this is going up, and we're seeing divergence here because the volume doesn't match this move. So compare it to the last push up, which we have here going back to the start of the month, first few days, and coming off the back of January. We had this nice price action. It was all very steady. Again, we were seeing divergence, and then it started to trickle, and we started seeing the volume just tail off, and we even dipped below the zero line on the indicator here on this volume. So it was going into negative volume. But this was leading up to the news. And I did say, we did a live session yesterday just before the news, and I did say, it's probably just pulled back. It's probably going to launch itself long from here, and it did, and it's done exactly. It's not a guess so much. It was just using common sense and the information that was out there. It wasn't so much about trying to guess, trying to make head nor tail of complicated figures, fundamental information. You didn't need to be an analyst for it. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure you guys have all zoned out by now. Hopefully you find all this information of some value, but there you go. I think that's enough said on that. Any more questions? Any more questions? We can make this short and sweet. 5 more minutes. So any more questions? 5 more minutes, and then we can finish for the day and for the week and have a nice weekend. Make a long weekend of it. Yeah, your forecasts are spot on. The pound. Okay, yeah. So I'm not a good trader. It's nothing to do with being the oracle or anything like that. Again, it was just what was going to happen, wasn't it? Now, unless they changed the numbers or something happened with the interest rates or Bank of England decided to take action, then that would have an effect on the pound. In terms of how it would affect it, it depends what action they take. But no action to be taken, so pound's free to carry on going to the upside. It's like the pound's trying to move up, and then it comes across, it finds some, it comes to like a blockade or checkpoint, and that was the checkpoint this week. The checkpoint was the monetary policies that were being implemented by the Bank of England. You could appreciate that when they're going to speak, it's like when the Federal Reserve do their bits and pieces, interest rate forecasting, etc. on a Wednesday evening generally, or just like Wednesday afternoon New York time. Sometimes it's best to just wait. But this one's a bit cleaner, a bit clearer, because it's not affecting the whole world. Bank of England's just going to mainly affect the pound currency, which is great because it means that you've managed to filter all the noise. You're not having to worry about dollar related pairs or what else is going on in the world. You can just look at what is happening regarding the pound, and so that's why you get such clean moves like you do. So next month, okay, so this time in 4 weeks' time, if you did nothing else for the next 4 weeks and just focused and saved your bullets for next month, monetary policy, Bank of England, when Governor Bailey speaks next, and just see what they do and see the state of the pound, see where it's at. Such an idiot. Am I breaking up? Am I? Is that clearer? Is that clearer? It might have just not. Anyway, that's hopefully you can watch this back live on YouTube, because we're live at the moment on YouTube. So I'm not gonna hang on for another 3-4 minutes at best. Just wanted to ask, what's your long-term view on pound dollar? Just asking as I'm considering taking these 70k FTMO challenge rather than the 100k. That's a good question. Someone else talked about that. Long-term view, bullish. If you look at a monthly time frame on the pound pairs, they've been undervalued and quite low at their lows. March last year with the pandemic outbreak, that was the low, wasn't it? That was strong dollar, strong buying on the dollar, And so, yeah, of course, it needed to then change and reverse, and so that's what's happened. And so now we're starting to see some much needed buying, which we haven't seen. And I think pound's been held back because of the Brexit negotiations have been ongoing for 4 years plus, but they managed to finally get something sorted. So again, it's like checkpoints, blockades. They're slowly being removed, and so it's free now to move up. Best way to describe it. So $1.40 pre referendum levels, pre-Brexit levels, when we were trading at 142, 144, 147, 143, whatever, in the 140s. So it'll go back. Impulsive and corrective movement. Impulsive with the news, sold off hard with Brexit. Everyone voted to leave, or the votes were saying leave, and then it's going to correct now. So it's in a corrective phase. 4 or 5 years later, still correcting. So $1.40, 40s. All right, we're done. I think we're going to sign off now. It's going to clear in about less than a minute on Zoom. So I'll bid you a good weekend now. If you have any more questions, send it to my Telegram at ALX_TYW. You can message me and I'll try and answer questions there. Just better, easier. But yeah, good luck with your trading. Have a nice weekend. Same to you guys. Yeah, send me questions outside of these sessions. You don't have to wait till today. Send me some charts as well. Send me some setups that you guys, whatever you're doing, share it with us. Always like to see what you guys are up to, so I can rip the piss out of you and say you're doing it shit. No, so I can help you if I can. I'll give you some experience. But yeah, don't take everything I have to say disclaimer, because not everything I say is accurate or on point. So, and it's not gonna be, is it? But maybe you'll get a few nuggets of info that you might find of value or useful. All right, have a great day, have a great weekend, and someone chuck that J out of the room. The other J, Jarvis. What numbers does Geppy like? He likes the 30 and the 80. Why don't you tell him? Likes the 30, likes the 80. Where did it rally up from? 144.30 up to where? 144.80. Okay, you could have squeezed 50 pips out of it. Now piss off, I'm busy. I've got a life to live. I want to sit on my arse and watch box sets. It's sunny. I might go out for a ride on the bike because I've done no exercise all week. We're just growing old and stale like bread. This lockdown's driving me nuts. I need to get out and do some exercise. Jesus. Remember, time is the most precious commodity in the world, not money. Just remember that. Okay? You'll be alright. Put more emphasis on making memories, as somebody once said. Make memories with your kids. Don't ever forget. Always chasing the dollar. Find that balance. Have a lovely weekend, everyone, and we'll catch up on Monday. Actually, Chris is doing a live session later, as far as I'm aware.